Are we expecting key revenue growth here as well?
Yeah, the number really to catch for is their cloud revenue. I mean, it's a slight deceleration from last quarter, but guidance for next quarter, I think, is going to be really critical because in the software world, Microsoft is the biggest player in AI or anything generative AI right now. So I think that's really where our eyes are going to be, or ears are going to be, when they talk about guidance for next quarter.
The battleground that I love to track, Anurag, is the hyperscale cloud, right? And I think Azure top line growth forecast for around 27%. I know we're so excited about artificial intelligence. We genuinely are. But ultimately, how much do you focus on the bread and butter business?
See, right now, the bread and butter business is not going to accelerate the way the cloud should over the next 12 to 18 months. So that's why we're really trying to figure out if enterprise customers are still in the cost-cutting mode or have they started to invest. Because that data point, I think, is the single most important thing for technology companies. Because unless that happens, you're not going to see a recovery in a lot of these valuations that have gotten beaten up over the last, couple of, I would say, quarters.
What about spending at the moment, Anurag? How much are they willing to be investing in their own business? Because, boy, they've been investing in OpenAI.
Yeah. See, the investment part, I personally am not concerned about whether, I think it's going to remain strong for all cloud providers, only because the backlog or the long-term orders are still there. People need to invest and, move away from on-premise infrastructure. So I'm not concerned about CapEx as much as some, maybe investors are. But, from my side, I think it's going to continue for many years to come.
All right, I was being a bit sassy about cloud and artificial intelligence. Get it? Sassy? Software as a... Anyway, Anurag Rana of Bloomberg Intelligence, thank you very much. Let's get to Google's results after Caroline. Love that. I knew you would. All right, hard pivot. Google's after the bell. Who else is here but Mandeep of Bloomberg Intelligence? Mandeep, ads. It's going to be a story of how the ad business is done. We talked just there about the sort of bread and butter business for Microsoft. Is that what Bloomberg Intelligence looks for in Google's context as well?
Yeah, and to me, the bogey for YouTube is quite low. When you think about search, growing at 9% consensus expectations and YouTube at 10%, you have to wonder, why is YouTube not growing faster when Meta is expected to grow 21%? And the real comparison here is YouTube Shorts versus Meta Reels. Meta Reels, we know, is a $10 billion run rate business. They have 3x it over the last 12 months. I think investors want to know what's going on with YouTube Shorts and if it's going to drive that top line growth. And on the cloud side, I mean, look, Anurag mentioned about large language models. The good thing with Google Cloud is they don't have a legacy business where, Google Cloud is going to cannibalize its legacy business. It's all incremental revenue from AI and large language models. And I think if they give any details around the licensing of their large language models, that would be quite interesting.
Mandeep, there was a lot of hand-wringing, though, previous couple of quarters about, well, the competitive threat that generative AI certainly may be coming from Bing finally. Have they managed to shake off any anxiety that search is going to be upended here?
I mean, Caroline, search is one business that has still the strongest mode. And granted, ChatGPT got traffic, the 100 million users. But when you look at the ad revenue, I don't think it's going to make a dent, at least for now. And over time, look, Google has the advantage that they have over 4 billion monthly active users with search. And even if, the volume goes down because there are more large language models doing searches, they still have the distribution. And so to me, search will continue to grow, high single digit. And it's all about the other drivers, the YouTube and the cloud, that's going to accelerate the growth through double digits.
Mandeep, there's part of this week which is the kind of timing and structure of it. So Alphabet kind of reports first, and you have Meta, Snap down the road. And Alphabet or Google kind of set the tone for social media companies that make money from ads. Do you expect it to play out that way this week as well?
No, I think it's going to be tough for the smaller players simply because companies are still prudent about their sales and marketing spend, and they want to focus on the highest ROI. And we know the highest ROI is search and Meta, Instagram, and the social media, large social media properties. I think Snap and Pinterest will have easier comps, so that's good. But in terms of acceleration, it's too early to say that we are headed for a big rebound in ad spending next year.